Welcome back to Writing, where myths and folklore from every corner of the globe come alive through original storytelling. My name is Tashawn, your guide on this journey into the mystical, the eerie, and the forgotten. Each episode will delve into a new tale, blending ancient legends with fresh narratives that will transport you beyond the ordinary. Today, I'll be reading an original story based off the Muki from Bolivia. Remember that all my stories are loosely based on real-life events, but are set in real-life scenarios, so enjoy it how you may. If you're tuning in on YouTube, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts, thank you for stopping by, but now it's time. Go ahead and settle in. Open your mind, lay down, relax, and let the stories unfold. Before we even begin, we have to discuss what a Muki is. The Muki is a goblin-like creature in the mythology of the Central Andes in Bolivia, Peru, Ecuador, and Colombia. He is known to be a miner and his existence is constrained to underground spaces, mainly mines. The Muki is considered to be a dwarf due to its height, since it is no taller than 2 feet tall. In the traditions of Cerro Rico, the Muki is a small, brawny creature with a disproportionate body. His head is attached to his body, but he lacks a neck. His voice is deep and husky, not matching his appearance. His long hair is bright blonde. His face is hairy and reddish, with a long white beard. His look is deep, aggressive, and hypnotic, and his eyes reflect the light as if they were made of metal. In some mining tradition, he has 2 horns that are used to break the rocks and point at the mineral vines. His skin is very pale, and he carries a mining lantern. Sometimes he is described as having pointy ears. Following the safety regulations of his work, the Muki wears a helmet, a miner's outfit, and studded boots. He usually carries a lantern or a flashlight, depending on the technological level of the mine. He also walks like a duck because his feet are abnormal size, and sometimes his legs can take the shape of a goose or crow. But the description of the Muki changes with time. Around the 1930s, he was said to wander the mines while holding a gas lantern and wearing a vacuna poncho, if I said that correctly. He was described as having 2 small shiny horns and to speak with a soft voice. Nowadays, he has a more updated look, mining outfit, rain boots, and a battery flashlight. Sometimes he shapeshifts into an animal or a blonde white man to appear to the miners and deceive them. Hopefully that description that I just read to you about the Muki help you better understand today's story. I ain't gonna lie, this one has a lot of things based off of real life, like this photo that I have. I don't know who these 2 guys are. If y'all ever come across this, man, I ain't gonna lie, I just use y'all photo, alright? Don't take it too much to heart, alright? But like I mentioned before, all my stories are based in reality, so you may be able to relate to it if you ever deal with any things like the stuff that happens in my story or know anybody. You know, I feel like that's the best way for stories to stick with people, is if they can relate to it in any type of way. So hopefully in today's story titled the Potosi Diaries, I think I said that correctly, I'm not too sure, but hopefully y'all enjoy it, man. I really enjoy creating stories daily, and we're slowly building on the channel, man. You know, the subscribers are slowly coming in. I really do appreciate everybody who comes across my videos and who stops by to subscribe and just like the video, or if you're listening to this on any podcast, who just so happens to give me a follow. So like I continue to say daily, man, we upload almost every day, and I'll continue to keep giving y'all stories every day because I truly love what I'm doing. So yeah, that's enough of me talking. Let's go ahead and get in today's video or story, whatever, right? Oh, I also forgot to mention that this story today is going to be more of a journal entry style, so it won't be broken up in our usual 3-part story breakdown. So just to give y'all a heads up. So yeah, alright, now let's begin today's story. The Potosi Diaries is an original short story by Tashawn Fonteneaux. July 1st, 2023. Dear family, today marks the beginning of my 6-month contract at the Cerro Rico mines in Potosí, Bolivia. The journey here was long and strenuous, but the sight of the mountain was overwhelming. It's hard to believe that such a place, with its bloody history and rich deposits of silver, still operates today. I've been assigned to a shared room in a small, cramped barrack. My roommate is a peculiar fellow named Ethan. a blond white man who sticks out like a sore thumb among the native miners. He seems awkward and aloof, avoiding conversation and often staring blankly into space. In contrast, the other miners are welcoming, albeit reserved. Carlos, an older miner with decades of experience, told me stories of his time here. He mentioned that mining at Cerro Rico is like a rite of passage for the locals, a dangerous tradition passed down through generations. The danger is palpable. They call it the mountain that eats men alive for a reason. July 5th, 2023. Dear family, work here is even harder than I imagined. The conditions are brutal. The noise from the jackhammers is deafening, and the air reeks of sweat and diesel fumes. We rely entirely on the fans above ground to pump cool air into the mines, barely making it breathable. The physical toll is immense, and the constant threat of cave-ins looms over us. The long hours and grueling work have already claimed a few men to exhaustion. Ethan remains an enigma. He struggles with the work more than anyone else, his awkwardness making it hard for him to fit in. He's an outsider in every sense, and the other miners avoid him. I notice he has a strange habit of disappearing during breaks, only to return with vague excuses. I can't shake the feeling that there's something not quite right about him. July 12th, 2023. Dear family, strange things are happening in the mines. Today, we found the body of Miguel, one of the newer miners. He was crushed in a way that didn't seem natural. The foreman, Pedro, quickly labeled it as an accident, but whispers among the veteran miners tell a different story. They speak of the Muki, a mythical creature that takes on human forms to blend in and kill. I met an older miner, Santiago, who shared his eerie experiences. He told me about the strange disappearances and unexplained deaths that have plagued the mines for centuries. Ethan's odd behavior continues to unsettle me. He avoids eye contact, and his responses are always evasive. I'm starting to wonder if he's hiding something. July 19th, 2023. Dear family, another death today. Juan, a miner with a young family, was found mangled in a way that no cave collapse could explain. Panic is spreading throughout the camp. Diego, one of the native miners, gathered everyone and spoke of the Muki. He warned us to stay vigilant and work in groups. The tension is unbearable. Everyone is on edge, and tempers are flaring. Ethan's presence has become more unsettling. He stands at the edge of our groups, his eyes watching us intently. I notice he often disappears at night, returning just before dawn. The other miners have started to avoid him altogether, whispering behind his back. I started to keep a close eye on him, hoping to uncover the truth. August 2nd, 2023. Dear family, the situation is now dire. 3 more men have died in the past week, all under mysterious circumstances. The fear among us is palpable. I've even begun to believe in the stories of the Muki. Ethan's behavior is growing stranger by the day. He slips away during the night, and I followed him a few times, but he always manages to disappear into the darkness. Today, I confronted Carlos and Diego about Ethan. They shared my suspicions, but were too afraid to act. We decided to keep an eye on him together. The camp is divided. Some think Ethan is just an awkward foreigner, while others believe he might be the Muki. The sense of dread is starting to be overwhelming inside the camp. August 12th, 2023. Dear family, we faced the Muki tonight. It was a fierce battle, and we lost many good men, including Carlos and Diego. The Muki's true form was horrifying, all claws and fangs. We managed to wound it, driving it back into the deepest part of the mine. The survivors are shaken, but we believe the worst is over. I've kept my journal close, recording everything, but it's gone missing. I can't find it anywhere. In a moment of dreadful clarity, I realized my journal was stolen by the Muki. Ethan, or what looks like Ethan, was watching me from the shadows, holding it. The creature has now taken my form. I don't know if I'll make it out alive, but if you find this, know that the Muki is still out there. Be cautious of those who return from Cerro Rico, for they may not be who they seem. My final entry. Dear family, if you read this, understand the danger. The Muki has taken my place, and the cycle of horror will begin anew. I'm sorry I couldn't do more. Be safe, and trust no one who returns from the mines. Please remember me. With love, Alejandro. Well, that's the end of the Potosi Diaries. I know that this story was kind of short. I got a lot of things going on today, but I wanted to be able to give y'all still a good story at the end of the day, even though it is on the shorter side. But as we wrap up today's story, I just have 3 questions that I want to run by y'all. Y'all can just discuss it amongst your peers if you're with them right now, or you can just let me know down below in the comments. But my 3 questions to y'all is obviously Ethan's odd behavior was like a major clue inside this story, and like I feel like the way that I wrote it was kind of noticeable that he was probably the suspect. But how would you react if you encountered someone acting strangely in a high stakes environment just like that? My second one is that the miners faced a moral dilemma when deciding to confront the Muki, right? So what would you have done in their situation? Would you have gone straight up to Ethan, or would you have like hid back with the other miners and not do anything? Me personally, I ain't gonna lie, if it's life or death inside of a mine, I mean, I'm already in a life or death situation working in the mines to begin with. You say, you know, if Ethan the killer, bro, he the killer. Just hopefully he just don't get me, you know what I'm saying? And then lastly, do you think that the ending implies that the Muki will continue its cycle of horror, or do you believe the miners' actions made a lasting impact? I'll let y'all decide on that one by yourselves. But once again, thank you for checking out today's story titled The Potosi Diaries. If you enjoyed it, make sure you hit that subscribe button on YouTube and like the video. And if you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, make sure to hit that follow button if you haven't already. I post daily stories to keep you up at night, so if you have a folklore, myth, or legend in mind that you want me to write about, let me know down below in the comments. Once again, my name is Tashawn, and I'm chronically writing, and I'll see y'all in our next story. Have a blessed day.